Howdy, folks. G Money here, trying to improve my sound quality. I realized the last few videos I have not had my headset on and the microphone closer. There's somewhat of a reason for that, but um, what I'm here to talk about today is, uh, I've been visiting my mother in the hospital, right? So she took a fall, broke three ribs, busted her chin open really bad, busted her cheekbone open, and I'm pretty sure she probably had endured a concussion. Haven't seen the full medical diagnosis, but it's pretty obvious. So anybody that does not know about my mother, which I hate to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, but it's kind of important. Hopefully, I don't know if somebody can find any wisdom in anything I mumble out tonight, but the she she's basically almost 89 and a half, right? Years old. And she's this fall did not help her. And I'm going to tell you how the fall helped, or not helped, how it occurred. Excuse me. That was total miscommunication on my part. I will tell you how the fall happened. Then I'm going to tell you why it happened, and hopefully you all will understand. She did not fall because she was um, frail. I mean, she is frail. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, she's very weak, does not have a lot of strength, but the power of attorney has been kind of like hanging out here lately a lot. You guys have been watching, the videos. You understand that. So he has a service dog. Service dog's name is Zeke. It's a Rottweiler that's about a year old, pretty high strong, high strung and strong. And while he was away going to take care of some of his personal things, my mom decided she was going to take the dog outside for a walk, basically, like a urination break or just trying to be kind, right? Which anybody would do, it's understandable. And, but the thing is, the dog, uh, from my observation, is still lacking a lot of the discipline skills a service dog truly needs, right? It's not a knock on the system, it's just my personal observation. And I may come around later at another time, talk about why I feel that way. But so where my mom lives, there's a lot of rabbits, there's a lot of squirrels, and there's obviously birds and stuff like that, right? Well, there's like a boatload of rabbits. So what happened was my mom, what appeared to happen, from what I understand, she she leashed up the dog, took him out the front door. There was like a little outside foyer that leads to turns, kind of like it's open, but for the most part, but leads to where the driveway would be and where the garage is. And then that's when Zeke probably saw a rabbit, pulled real aggressively. My mother did not have the strength to, you know, restrain him, and fell. And that's how she broke her ribs and busted her face open. And she's in bad shape. It could have been worse, but it was still a bad situation. So one of the neighbors, I don't know which one it was. I know it's not neither of the direct neighbors nearby. I guess was driving by or walking by or something and saw her, and I basically rescued her, and that's that's how she was found. And there's more to that story, but I'm going to get back to where she is now. She's been in the hospital for, you know, quite a few days right now. I don't remember how long, 4 or 5, 6 days. I don't remember what day this happened. To be honest with you, it's I don't know. It's probably been close to a week, but the so I've been visiting her. There was only one day I didn't visit her, and that's what was on Saturday. I let everybody know I have to work my other job. It was very far away. I had to get up at 5 in the morning, drive way out to BFE, and then try and come back the same night. So it basically was like 5 in the morning till 7 p.m. and there was no way I was going to go south to the hospital. It's just like I was just worn out. But it was a very productive day as far as employment went. So I've been going back and forth, and then today I stopped. After my part-time job, and as I'm walking in the hospital, the power of attorney and his significant other, girlfriend, whatever, they're walking out. We kind of meet in the foyer there, and he's kind of giving me a brief update, basically telling me my mom's sleeping and stuff like that. I said, all right, well, all right, I'm going up anyway. And that's all she does pretty much anyway, sleep all day, especially if you have no visitors. She really doesn't have many visitors, which really sucks for her. But so I walk in and she's sound asleep. For the life of me, I can't do this personally. But I would have to be like major drugged up, but I cannot sleep on my back. And I know people can. I can't do it personally, but my mother's sleeping. She's on her back with a slight incline on the hospital bed, and it almost looks like her eyes are partially open. So I'm softly trying to talk to her. I didn't want to frighten her, so I'm trying to softly talk to her, and then I speak a little bit louder. She finally does wake up, and she adjusts. She realizes it's me. So we're talking for a little bit and just talking about her menu options, just little simple things. And it's a lot of the same repetitive things, like what day of the week is it and stuff like that. So you kind of learn to accept it. It'll wear you out, but you realize that's where we are right now. So then, see, I'm slouched down. So stuff goes on for a little bit, and then I wanted to stop. They have a little gift shop downstairs, and I don't know why, because it was like noon, and the gift shop was closed. It didn't make any sense to me unless an employee called out or something. But they have your traditional flowers and little vases and knickknacks and stuff like that. But they have those, you ever see those little multi-pack Hershey's snack size mini chocolate bars that you give out to kids on Halloween, stuff like that? Well, they sell them in bulk, like open bulk, in the gift shop, which I found it very hard to believe. They're only like 15 cents a piece. So the other day, I bought 4 of them, like 60 cents plus tax, 60, whatever it was. So, not that I'm a big spender. My mom just doesn't eat a lot of chocolate in one sitting, but she does like chocolate. So I'm trying to do something courteous, and I took that up the other day. But today, that didn't transpire. And I'm leading up to something big here, as you may not realize. But so then she really needs to use the restroom, right? Well, with this injury, it's not like she's just an old lady. I just pick her up and take her to the restroom. She's got a lot of injuries, and I don't know how to handle her. That's what the hospital's there for. So I reach out and talk to them, and then some nurses come in and they do their business, and they help her and to use the restroom. And it took about it was about a half hour process. I was out in the hall, and I guess I'm assuming I couldn't visually see it, but when they tried to lift her up and assist her, she pretty much yelled and moaned and groaned. She probably had a lot of pain in her broken rib cage. Understandable, right? So I'm just trying to wait out there patiently. I know they're doing what they need to do and making sure she's sanitary before she's back in the bed and all this stuff. So as a male, and I'm just trying to be very respectful to the whole situation. Then I go back in after that's done, and we already previously talked prior to her requesting to use the restroom. I said, I think I just heard a call. They're going to start delivering lunch, so be expecting your food, and so we're talking about that, and then all the restroom break thing happened. Now I come back in. They finally do deliver the lunch to her, and it was totally different than what was on the menu. I don't know if it was a special request for her or whatever, but basically she ended up, which wasn't a bad lunch. I'm telling you, it wasn't a bad. So I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but she had like a bowl of a little small cup of cream of chicken soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, a real nice fruit cup, a good sized fruit cup bowl, and then she had something else like saltines or crackers or something on the side. Well, I'm sitting there, and my mom keeps only wanting to eat this little bit of soup. It wasn't a lot of it, but it was good for her, but it's not enough to sustain her, to keep her healthy. So I keep telling her, Mom, you have to eat this. Oh, no, you eat it. You eat. I'm like, no, Mom, this is for patients, not for hungry son. I'm not gonna lie, I was hungry as hell, but I'm not eating her food. It's for her to get better, right? So I finally get up, and I cut. It was cut diagonally like your mothers would cut your grilled cheese sandwich, not in half, but diagonally. So I cut it in kind of like pie slices for her. She did eat probably not even half of a sandwich, but at least she got some of that intake. And then, I took off the lid she pretty much has no strength or dexterity in her limbs, and took off the plastic lid for the fruit cup, and forked a big piece of pineapple or whatever it was and gave it to her. And so we're doing that, but I'm looking at her, and my mom's really weird because all the medical problems she's had in her life, the one thing that's always amazed me, I don't know why she continues to fight for survival. She has a tremendous will to live, right? I don't know why. I'm not saying it's right or wrong that she has that, but her quality of life the last few years has been pretty much terrible. And definitely this last past year have been terrible. So I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at her laying in bed, and she looked like she fought Mike Tyson, and she looks totally, totally exhausted, totally. The only thing I can tell you with my honest opinion, my honest uh, feeling, it's the first time I've ever looked at her. She's had a lot of medical problems, like I've said, but today I looked at her, and I'm like, wow. She had that look in her that she was giving up, right? She looked like she was giving up. That's why I was trying to make sure she still eats, and her quality of life is not going to get any better, right? But it was really weird. It was just, I consider myself very intuitive. And when I saw that she had that look, that she just wanted to give up, she didn't say it, but she had the look, right? I'm like, wow. So, I left there in tears. So now I'm going to tell you another story related to It's a really weird configuration. My mom's on the sixth floor of a sixth floor hospital. So when you get off the sixth floor, you have to go down. You kind of have to make a real sharp. It's really weird how it's laid out. It may make sense to them. It doesn't make sense to me how it's configured. But as I'm arriving there today, it was probably noon or 12:30, whatever it was when I arrived there, and I get off the elevator and I'm coming down that hallway. I saw something that really, really, really touched my heart and hurt my heart. At the end of the hall, where basically I would make a U-turn to go towards my mom's room, there's probably 4 or 5 people standing outside, obviously family members of the resident of the room. And the one thing I noticed was before I approached that, there was a young girl, probably 8 years old, crying really bad. And it was like a grandmother type figure trying to console this young lady. And they're talking and they walk past me. And I ended up doing my stuff with my mom. Then I come back out. And when I came back out later, there's still like a half circle outside of this room of that other family member, right? And the only thing I don't know my facts, obviously, but I don't know if the older grandmother figure was actually the grandmother, or she was just like an older worker at the hospital, whatever. But there was some teenagers, there was some like parent type figures. And so obviously it was either like a father or like grandfather or grandmother in that room is what I would surmise based on what I saw. I come back out. The girl's still in the center of this little half circle, and she's still crying. Not real loud, but she's upset. Obviously, because, someone she loves, life may be in danger. It was just the weirdest thing because you never know what you're going to see in a hospital, right? But to see an 8-year-old girl, like I said, I'm guessing she was 8 years old, so traumatized by what's occurring. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. It's just so weird to see that. I felt really bad for that young lady because that's probably her first experience with, a life-threatening situation, or, hopefully it does not turn into death. But it was very, very sad to see a young child like that so traumatized by the hospital experience. So it just makes you, it must be, I'm sure if you work in a hospital, you become callous to it after a while, but it just totally caught me off guard. And I felt I wanted to share that. I actually wanted to share that as a separate video. Since I'm talking, might as well just do it as one big compilation and tell you, how they intertwined, so to speak. But so that's all I have to share for today. And I'm sorry. I'll try and keep you updated. Apparently, there's more issues with my mom's health insurance. She was supposed to go to rehab today. Then it was tomorrow. Now it looks like it's Wednesday, something to do with health insurance. I don't know. It's just like a big dog chasing his tail. I wanted to use another term, but probably can't use that on this platform. Anyway, folks, so hospitals suck. They're good. They're there for a reason, but man, it's just like it can really suck when you go there because you realize the magnitude of what every room has a different story. Every floor has a different story. Whatever floor you're on, you might be on the checkout floor, ICU or whatever it is. So it's really crazy. If I had the ability and the time to write a book, I mean, you could probably write a book about each hospital, each floor, I'm not going to say each patient, but different various patients. And it'd probably be a bestseller because just talking to the staff, I'm sure they see you so much. It was just in my short visit, just what they did for my mother. It's like, man, this is not the greatest job in the world for them, but they seem to be executing it very well. So just wanted to share that story and talk to you guys soon. I honestly, my personal opinion is contrary to what some other people think, but I don't think my mom's going to be around much longer. That's my personal opinion. But, we know what opinions are like. But, all right, folks, talk to you soon, and peace out, folks.